Hi, everybody. Good morning. We are just going to wait a few minutes for other people to come in for our webinar here. In the meantime, if you haven't already, introduce yourself in the comments. We see people already from Montreal, Texas, Switzerland, Brazil, Pittsburgh, and let us know where you're coming in from. I'm in New Jersey myself, and we have people joining us from England on our team and Tel Aviv. We got Croatia. There's Crystal. She'll be on in a minute. Anyway, I'm going to put myself on mute. We'll be back on in a minute, and I'll check back in. A very international crew. 2 from Brazil. We got Las Vegas. We got Georgia, South Carolina, Mexico, Colombia. If we had a map with all the pins in all the places we're coming from, it would be full. Croatia. I think I missed Croatia. Another Montreal. Love that. One of my favorite things about Wix is how international our community is. It's really, even gathering in a room like this. Argentina, Northern Ireland. Hello, Glenn. Hello, Eliana. Manny from the Keys. I wish I was in the Keys right now. Sounds pretty nice. It's cold here. Macedonia. I don't think I'm going to pronounce the name right, so I'm going to not do that. But hello to the person in Macedonia. I will give it one more minute, and then we'll start here. Philadelphia. Hello, Sharon. Macon, Georgia. Hello, Gail. I've been to Macon for a wedding a long time ago. It's nice down there. Crystal, I'm going to have to ask you about the Macedonian flag later. It's impressive knowledge that you have that. Magdalena from Spokane, home of John Stockton. All right, I think. Hello, Cindy from Miami. All right, I'm going to bring our other panelists up here, and I guess we'll start.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
This is Crystal and Sapir. I will introduce them presently. So welcome, everybody, to our webinar on working smarter with AI. My name is Josh Brenton, as you can see on the screen. I'm a content strategist at Wix Studio. I am an AI enthusiast for sure. Today, we are going to be talking about how you can use AI in all of your client workflows, from building a brief and aligning around a project with a client to using AI tools in creating assets for your website. And then once your site is live, using it to help with your marketing and your SEO. And we're not just going to talk about Wix Studio tools either. We will, because there are, that's something we want to talk about. But there's a big AI universe out there, and we want to give you some use cases for some other popular tools as well. One thing I want to say is a lot of people think about AI as really making yourself more efficient, and it is that, but it also is designed to help you do better at your job and give you ways to provide more value to your clients. So we're going to focus on that today. And to keep things cohesive, we're going to wrap the story of the webinar around a client that might be that runs a gym. So we're going to be talking about their website and how to use AI in the creation of that workflow. So I want to introduce my colleagues. We were supposed to have 3 of my colleagues here today, but Shachaf Rodberg, his wife, gave birth to their second daughter. So he's doing new dad things. And covering his section and doing her own section is Sapir Turkanitz. Say hello, Sapir. Sapir is the UX lead for our AI assistant team. So she's going to talk about setting up a brief for a project, aligning with client, and then she's going to show you a couple of our web features on the Studio platform, one of which is very new, and we're really excited to show you about it. And then Crystal is our head of SEO communications. She's going to come on and talk about using AI for marketing and SEO and how you can promote your site and your content once you're live. Just a couple of housekeeping items. We have the comments are open. Obviously, I will be monitoring them throughout. We will try to answer as many questions as we can. Feel free to put them in there. For ones we don't get to, we're going to be over on Discord, which is where our community is. For an hour after this, I'll be over there trying to answer as many questions as I can. So I will put a link for that in at the end of the webinar and direct you all where you can find me after if you have any further questions. With that said, I'm going to hand it over to Sapir, and you can take it away.
Thank you, Josh. So hi, everyone. I'm Sapir, leading the UX on the AI assistant team at Wix. And I have to start by saying that I'm really excited to meet some of you guys virtually. Last year in September, I actually met some of the Wix Studio user community in LA when the Wix Studio launch. We did a Wix Studio launch worldwide. So it was really nice meeting some of you guys and hearing your feedback and your experiences with clients. So that was really cool. So I'm really excited to be here today. And today I am super excited to share a bit about how AI is transforming the way we build websites. But more importantly, I just want to give you a taste on how AI can help you in your day-to-day work process with building clients' websites. So I know each one of you have your own workflows and you work with different types of clients. You design and build websites professionally on a daily basis. So your workflow is either very similar or very different. Your clients may already have all the content and images, or they may not. And also some of you guys may be using AI tools on a daily basis, and others are a bit new. So again, my goal is really, no matter what your workflow is or individual situation with your clients, to help you strengthen the mindset of working with AI and using it for your own benefit. So I truly believe generative AI works best when there's a human in the loop. And these tools are here to help you get better results and quicker. And I also think that clients really appreciate when you give them the whole story and package it from the beginning. So using AI tools outside of Wix can also help you frame the work process and show them like presentations, for example, and things like that. So let's dive right in. As Josh said, Shachaf was meant to take the first part, so I'm also going to cover a little bit of the first part, and then we'll dive into a new product at Wix called the Visual Sitemap, and then we'll move on to the Wix Studio product. So I'll go ahead and share my screen. Whoop. Present. Okay, so firstly, I'm going to show you a couple of ways you can kind of get started. Again, depending on your workflow, you can use it in the best way that you see fit. You might have a client that has a very organized brief and will give you a brief right from the beginning, or they may just give you, a general idea and they need more hand-holding along the way. So there's a couple of ways to kind of start with the brainstorming process. You can either jump straight into GPT and create a brief. Like you can say, I am an expert at designing and building, or you are an expert at designing and building websites. You have a client who, as just said, we're building a client for someone who owns a gym. So you have a client who owns a gym in New Jersey and needs a professional website. Create a brief for this client who is the owner of a gym in New Jersey. Include target audience, side goal, personas, timeline of project, and anything else that's relevant. I could also, give it other prompts, like give me ideas on different things. This is kind of like a nice way to start. This is one way, and I could get the brief here. I'm just gonna copy this. I could either create a brief right here and get ideas. This is a good way to kind of fine tune your brief and get it a little bit more accurate to your clients and keep improving it. Or you can, then paste in the text over here in Gamma, or you can generate in Gamma with a single prompt. So I can just copy and paste that. And the wow effect here is really creating a presentation in a few seconds. So the next step is just telling me the outline. I'm not sure if all of you guys are increase the font size. Is that better? Lucky I saw that comment. Is that better? I'm not sure if I mentioned what Gamma is, but Gamma is a really quick way to create visual presentations. It's a tool outside of Wix. Like, we just want to show you guys all kinds of different tools that'll help you with your workflow. I've pasted in the prompt. I want to create, say, for example, 8 cards or 8 slides. I see the outline already. Fitness club, target audience, some of the things I included, side goals, whatever you want to show your client. I can also add a card if I want. I can select the text per card and image source and different settings. I'm just going to go ahead and click generate. So you might have a yep.
No, I was just going to say, and with all of these tools, like the strength of your output will depend on the strength of your prompt. So if your prompt is stronger, then you'll have a stronger output at the end.
Yeah, definitely. So I wanted to show you guys here, like the, it's a little bit intense now that it's so big, but just kind of like the wow effect of creating a very quick presentation with a single prompt. But again, you could go into the text and refine that brief. The name of the app is called Gamma. Again, it's outside of Wix. It's not related. We just want to show you guys different tools. You can add another card with AI. If you can also like change the images, change the text directly. Once I'm happy with it, I can go over it, target audience, site goals, user personas, things that I might show my client, platform requirements, things I can work on and sync with them. Create a project. You could add project timeline here visually, and show your client what all of the steps of the way that you'll be taking, the features. This is a really great way also to get a scope of the project. You can then share it using either, you can either get a link or you can export it as a PDF and then continue on with your client.
I think it's really good if you've got a quick turnaround. If you've sent like a really long email and they're like, can you send me a deck? You can paste the really long email into this and then it will make it into a deck, which is really, really useful.
Yeah, that's a really nice use case.
You can also, Sapir, if I just, one thing as you're preparing for your client meeting, if you're going to send this deck, another use case when you export it as a PDF would be you can feed it back into ChatGPT or Claude or whatever model you like and ask it for feedback. You can ask it to anticipate what questions your client might give you. It can recommend changes. You don't have to take all of them, obviously, but I use AI a lot as a thought partner and to look for gaps in what I'm working on. So it's just a good way to help you refine your pitch in advance of client meetings when you want to put your best foot forward.
Yeah, that's a great use case. What Josh means is like if I can export it as a PDF and then upload it into GPT and ask it, okay, what kind of questions would my client ask? What you can refine, you can really have a conversation. You can also tell ChatGPT you are the client, you own, given the persona of the client, and then have a conversation. And then you'll be more ready once you have a meeting with your client. So that's a really good use case. So as just said, we're kind of using this use case of having a client that owns a gym that needs a website. So I passed this on and, he say, for example, the client likes everything and we can go into the next step of, for example, creating a sitemap. So I will move on now to create the Wix Studio sitemap. I'll move on to this. This is kind of one of the process that you might have with your clients after the introductory phase. And again, as I said, clients really do appreciate when you give them the whole story and package it fully. So this is also another reason we want to show you this today instead of jumping straight into the design. So let's talk about the visual sitemap, which is a new product at Wix. First of all, what is a visual sitemap? At its core, a visual sitemap is the blueprint of your website. It visually maps out the structure of your site, showing how pages are structured and how content is organized. Think of it as the foundation for everything you build. It ensures your site isn't just beautiful, but also logical and easy to navigate. So here's, an example of a sitemap that the product has created. I'll go step by step and show you how to create this, but I just wanted to show you this quickly. You might be used to seeing a sitemap with like a more like a information architecture style with the home at the top and then the pages and then the sections that go under the pages or more pages from those pages. But at the moment, this is how we've structured it. So you can see all of the main pages at the top, any apps that the website might have, etc. I'll go deeper into this, but let's go ahead and start the process by creating a new site with a studio sitemap and wireframe. So under create new site, you'll have all of the options that you're familiar with, and there will be a new item here called studio sitemap and wireframes. I'll go ahead and click on that. And I'll get to this form to help me generate a site structure. So on the right, you can see kind of what the output would be, which is the sitemap that I showed you just now. And as well, you have the option of also creating wireframes. So first, let's fill in this form with the help of AI if you need, or with the help of your client if he's already sent you all of the details. So what is the business type? We said fitness center. Describe the business. I've just got some ready answers here, so we can go through it quickly. But basically, describe this business. For us, it's a vibrant community-focused gym offering diverse classes, etc. Choose the main service. So for us, it's to get booked online. This answer will add any apps available for your site. In general, all the content that you fill in here will help with the content and the structure and the pages of the site. So fill in as much detail as you can. What is the name of the business? I think we said Iron and Force. Where is the business located? We said New Jersey, USA. The next one is who is the target audience? So for us, it's young professionals, busy parents, and active retirees. What makes this business unique? So for us, it's a community-oriented approach, diverse offerings, and family-friendly services. And what are the main goals of this site? So increase memberships, streamline class bookings, etc. So you fill out all of the details of the client's business. And the last thing is choose the tone of voice. So this is going to help with the content. So I'm going to select friendly and professional and continue. Great. So now I've got two options here to generate a site. I can generate either the visual sitemap and wireframes or the visual sitemap only. It doesn't matter which option you choose. With wireframes, you will also see the content and layout options, as you can see here. If you choose the wireframes only, the site is still fully structured, but the site pages are blank. So if you feel more comfortable designing by yourself and you don't want the wireframes, you can do that by selecting the sitemap only. It's also important to say that the sitemap in general is added to all of the sites, so you'll still see that in the back. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on Start Generating.
And I absolutely love this feature. I can see there are a few people who've commented as well that they love the visual sitemap as well. The first time I saw it, I was just so excited about it because I've worked agency side, and you have to pay for separate tools to have this normally. Normally you have to pay for something else. You have to like generate something on like, with a graphic designer, like do something on a spreadsheet, something like that. So it's great to be able to see this in the site. It's great to be able to generate this as you're building. I think it adds a lot of value for clients and for folks who are working Wix site. Auxer says Word. Yes, agreed.
Amazing, definitely. With our new sitemap product, we've designed an intuitive visual interface that brings your site structure to life. It's a dynamic workspace where you can easily drag and drop pages or sections, which I'll show you in a second. Create hierarchies and even reorganize on the fly. You can see in the background, it's kind of creating all the pages. It'll generate all of the main pages in a second, you'll see. You'll see exactly how your pages are laid out and how users will experience your site. It is also a fantastic tool to help you show the scope of the project and make sure your client agrees and connect them with the design process from the beginning. So a lot of clients, it depends on your client, but sometimes they don't quite fully grasp the entire scope from the beginning, or they think it's a little different to your work process. So this kind of creates a really nice transparency with your client. Once it's done, it'll take me directly to the homepage of my site. And here I can see the wireframes that it's created. So it's created the content and kind of like spaces for images, all of the page. You can see like all of the pages that it's created. I'm going to go straight into the visual sitemap, which is this fourth new icon that's been added. I'll click on it over here. And I can see all of the pages that have been created, which is awesome. There's some nice features that I want to share with you. So the first thing, as I said earlier, is that you can actually drag and drop sections in between, like on the page, between the sections on the page, but you can also drag and drop sections in between pages, which is very cool. You've got some more actions in the 3 dots. You can move down or up or duplicate, rename, hide, delete, or edit directly on Canvas. It'll take you straight to the editing of the site. You also have some more actions over here, which you can do similar things for the entire page. I really like this like status feature where I can work collaboratively with other designers or just kind of get a good idea of where my progress is at. And I can also add new pages. So I can add new pages or new sections straight here. I can also add a new page and generate it with AI. And once I'm kind of done, I can go into the top right corner over here and export sitemap to share with my client and give him kind of like an overview before I start designing.
Sapir, hey, sorry to interrupt. Before you move on, just we have a question here from Ernie, and it sort of relates to what you were just talking about. He was asking about adding additional elements, which you just showed. The question is, can you generate a sitemap from a site in progress? Like if I'm building a studio site and I haven't built the map yet, can I just create the map from the site?
Yeah, so sitemaps are actually, it's now the sitemap in general, all sites have them. So if, for example, I'll go into a website that I didn't create, it needs to be on Wix Studio. So Cupcake Store, here we go. I'll go into edit site. This I didn't create with the site map from the beginning, and I should still see the sitemap structure. Show you quickly.
And I think
it's a good question. Over here. Mm-hmm.
It can be really good for planning from an SEO point of view. It can be really good for planning your site architecture, the page hierarchies, the content hierarchies, all of that.
Definitely. So here you can see this is a site that I did not create. I didn't create from here. I didn't create a new site with Studio Sitemap and wireframes, but all of the sites will now have this type of structure in the background. I just won't have like all of the, I won't have it from the beginning with the content and etc. But it is a structure that now will exist on all sites. I hope I answered that question. Great. So where was I? So now I've got the visual sitemap, what's cool is that this product is embedded into the Wix Studio platform. Most website builders treat a sitemap as an external planning tool separate from the site itself. At Wix Studio, we've closed that gap for you. So I've seen agencies working with all types of different sitemap products, or they might even go into Google Drive and create different folders. Now you're not juggling spreadsheets or external wireframing tools. Instead, you're working directly within the platform, streamlining your workflow and saving time. So I encourage you to explore this tool and see how it can transform your project. As I said earlier, we want to kind of give you like tastes of different things that you can do with AI. So this is one of them. Go ahead and explore, and we'd love to hear what you think. And next, I'll go into, say, for example, we're going back into the storyline of creating a website for my client. And I want to go into the home page and edit this page. Oh, this is an old website.
Here, I just want to add one thing before you move on.
Mm-hmm.
There was a question about whether the visual sitemap feature was available. And since people who are going to be maybe watching this recording won't see the answers in the comments, I'm told that it's available currently to 50% of users, and it will be open to everybody else very shortly. I don't have a date to give you, but I will see if I can find some guidance on that, and I will report back.
Mm-hmm. Awesome. So now, for example, I want to go back into one of the wireframes. I have quite a few websites here that I've kind of played around with different images and stuff, but I'd like to show you the next thing, which is the Photo Studio. Some of you guys may already know the Photo Studio. It's got a few new features. I personally love the Photo Studio because it means you can create amazing images right inside the platform. And also, as opposed to competitors, it's free to use with some very powerful features to reduce your workload. Again, this is like a tool that's meant to help you with either brainstorming, or you can use it in any way that you see fit. You might already have existing professional images or images from your client, and then you might use the Photo Studio tool simply to kind of enhance an image or remove something here or create different AI tools for your benefit. Or you may not have any images at all and you're using the tool to kind of brainstorm or create images for the website. Two of the more difficult things when it comes to building websites from what I hear from users is the content is kind of like a struggle sometimes. Not all clients have images and content, so this is a really great way to kind of get started or even just get a good idea of what the website may look like in the end. So you may already have an image. In this case, I don't have an image, so I'm going to go ahead and create AI image for the website. And then the Photo Studio tool, like model, will open. On the left-hand side, you will see some disabled features, which will be enabled once I create an image and use it. So for now, I'm going to copy and paste an existing kind of prompt that I've already written down somewhere. I want to create a fitness center with several treadmills and exercise bikes and a large skylight that lets in natural light. The space is decorated with wood paneling and there are plants throughout. So basically just kind of like a nice natural environment for a gym with a lot of natural sunlight. I can also choose a style. So I'm just going to go ahead and click keep it on none and create image. And I get this image. It's actually not too bad. There are some things that I may want to remove or change. So I can create again if I want, but I'm actually kind of happy with this image. So I may just go ahead and use it. And the first thing I want to show you guys is the extend feature. So say, for example, here, the ratio is kind of like a square. I could choose different ratios or manually type in the width and the height. For now, I think I'm going to just extend it manually. I want to kind of create like a 1-point perspective view. I think that's where I'm kind of getting at. So I'm going to extend it a little bit here and maybe extend a tiny bit here. So this is kind of in the center, I guess. Maybe a little bit more here. And extend image. This is a really nice feature if you have like a, as I said before, a ratio that's maybe square and you want to spread it out over an entire section and add a heading, or you can think of quite a few use cases, and you can even share some if you want in the chat of what you may use this for. But so it's a nice feature to have right inside the photo studio. Some cases is, you may have already taken a photo and you want to increase it. Okay,
Yeah.
so go on, Crystal.
I was just going to say what often happens is somebody will send you an image and you go to put it in the website and it's not exactly the right proportion that you need. This is great for those use cases. I've used it myself for like header things where you basically want a lot of up space so that you can add the banner text. This can be really, really useful for that.
Definitely. Awesome. So I quite like this. As you can see on the left-hand side, we've enabled all of the features have been enabled. I want to show you a few other things. So there might be some little things that I'm not really so happy with the image. For example, there's this like black kind of element here. I'm not really sure what it is, or maybe I would want some more plants, or maybe I would even add like a painting here. Who knows? So I'm going to go into the AI image editor firstly, and I get a brush here. I can decrease and increase the brush, and I can select a little area to edit or replace. So say, for example, I will select kind of like this area, and let's see if it will just add a plant, another plant here. I see that I kind of didn't select it properly, so it may not work as well as I want, but this is a good opportunity to say that AI does make mistakes, and every single time, oh, okay, just removed it, which isn't too bad, but that's not what I wanted. So just to show you guys what I mean, I may just select this area here. Let's see if it'll work this time. Actually, oh, I did not mean to do that. Redo. Okay, let's just select like this area and say, for example, I want a painting here. So let's see if that will work.
And I think someone asked in the comment, which models are we using? Our AI tools are supported by a lot of OpenAI tools, but Josh also mentioned we have a few tools that are working across there. So yeah, we're working through it.
Yeah, I know we're also using Stable Diffusion, and we create like a streamlined process to make sure that when you're creating or regenerating images and the styles, they work well. So here is a good example of just AI, the product not working exactly as I wanted. It took kind of like the plant description that I had before for some reason. I still really want to show you this feature, but I might move on to, I don't know, maybe I can think of a different example over here. I might add, okay, let's just remove the plant here and replace it with something else. So let's think of like I don't know, like a small statue maybe.
So should we say add a small statue? Does that help?
I don't think it matters, but let's have a look. Sometimes it's a bit buggy, although it did work really well earlier. I'll show you an example of what I had before. Here, for example, this painting did not exist, but I can't show you that here, but that's okay. Sometimes AI makes mistakes. Add a small statue. Yeah, for some reason it's not working. It just removed the leaves. But I encourage you to just play around with it and see how it works. I have noticed that it does work better when you select like individual elements.
Yeah.
and replace them. So if I, for example, selected just something on the floor, it doesn't work very well. But if I select like an individual element that's enclosed, it does work a bit better. But AI is getting better and better.
I think-
Yeah.
time.
I think like any AI tool, right? The more you play with it, the more you learn the nuances of the prompts that you need to put in and how they will impact your output.
Behave.
So
Yeah, it's
I
a
think
trial.
that's fine.
Yeah.
yeah,
And
It's a trial and error.
let's I was
We'll
gonna say,
move on.
let's make sure. Yeah, do we want to make sure we give Crystal her
Yeah,
her-
definitely. So the last thing I just wanted to show you guys before I move it on to Crystal is the regenerate feature, which is a feature that doesn't exist in competitors. So it's a really cool. It's basically the reverse. So it analyzes the image and creates a prompt from that. You'll see that in a second, and then I can move. I can change the styling. So here it's given me a fitness room with a large glass window, wooden walls, floor, several treadmills. I can change it to a different style. I'm actually quite happy with this image. It's kind of what I was imagining, a lot of natural light, wooden flooring, a lot of treadmills. So I'm just going to go ahead and save it to add it to my site. And sometimes it doesn't appear here. So I'll just go ahead and change image and I'll see it in the site files and update it. And we'll have the image over here. So then you can continue on your workflow and kind of give your client an idea of where the website is heading if you don't have images. So again, you guys are professionals and create sites all the time. So we're really aiming to help you with the brainstorming, prototyping stage, or to show you some new features. You may already have images or you don't, but I hope I've encouraged you to kind of try it out for yourself and see what works for you. And with that, I will move it on to Crystal, who will talk about marketing and SEO.
Wonderful. So yeah, great tools there. Big fan of the visual sitemap. Big fan of the image tools, and I think it's awesome that we have so many that are available to
Crystal,
our folks.
sorry, before you jump in, there was just a question, and it was a question that I was actually thinking about too from EJ. Can you regenerate a picture? Can you regenerate from a picture you added? I'll put it up there. Not AI generated, because I think maybe sometimes a client would send you a mood board and you want to kind of get something in the realm, but not exactly the kind of image they had. Is that, we don't have to show it up here, but is that some, can you just speak to that a little bit?
I might just show it very quickly. It's a great question because it's something that you may have. So here I can change the image. Say this is a site file that I already had. I can go into one of these actions like crop and edit, and I'll see the image here and I can go into regenerate and do that from an existing image. So you can definitely go ahead and do that. Now I'll pass it on.
It's cool. You can also touch up things. So I've had it before where I had a picture and it was a picture of a person and there was a bit of hair out of place and I was able to do that as well. I've got my screen. Are you able to bring my screen up there, Josh? Thank you. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly remind everyone that so we're going to talk about AI for marketing. And I just want to remind everyone that AI tools can support every stage of your marketing funnel. So from awareness through to interest, decision, conversion, every single stage, you can incorporate AI tools into your marketing. But it's important to remember, Safira mentioned this as well, that there should be a human in the loop. And so they should open up time and resources for you to tell human stories better. We're trying to connect with people to help them connect with our products, connect with our services, connect with our businesses. And so a human should be involved wherever possible. It's also important to remember that quality models that you have trained, that where you've provided good quality inputs and prompts that are building on things that you've been doing for your clients already, and tools that you've invested time in are going to help you to produce quality marketing. So when you do that, you're able to polish your outputs. So where you're reviewing everything, checking everything, managing the tone of voice, and you're also able to put the customer first. So even if you're using AI, make sure that everything's helpful, valuable, useful for your customer. So for this one, we've got our gym, and we are going to be looking at a project where we have a new class where you train like an astronaut, because you've never seen an out of shape astronaut. And our task is to create a marketing campaign and content for the new course. We're going to use Notebook LM. I'm also going to give a shout out to AI transcribers. And then I'm also going to show you how you can use the Wix Studio tools that are within Wix Studio. So our workflow is that we're going to train Notebook LM to be my marketing assistant. I'll show you that in a second. We're going to use Notebook LM to help us prompt tools within Wix Studio. And then we're going to check our outputs for accuracy, artificialness, and appropriateness, to make sure that we know what we're doing there. And then we are also going to making sure that we're adding in points of differentiation as we go along. And this essentially is my general blueprint for anything you're doing with AI. Make sure that after you create the draft, you need to review the draft and ask, is it accurate? Yes, great. Does it sound artificial, look artificial? No, great. Is it appropriate for what we're doing? Yes, great. Then we can publish the draft. So that's how you wrap your AI content. I love an acronym. Let's go. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to show you is Notebook LM. Notebook LM is a tool from Google. If you're working with clients, one of the things that can be tricky is that sometimes they have, security concerns. Are we just training all these models and all this stuff? Are they getting in there? The thing about Notebook LM is it's from Google. It's powered by Gemini 1.5. It sits along your Google Files, Google Docs, etc. So it's a closed system. So it basically it does LLM transforming and knows how to read and transform text and things, but it essentially only knows what you give it. So you can take elements and you can add in the things that you need it to do. So this is a notebook that I've put together, and when you get into it, you'll open it and then you have a file. Yours won't have any when you first do it, but as soon as you get there, you can add sources. And every time you add sources, it makes a guide, and you can make a study guide. You could even make a podcast out of it. So you could upload a big, long strategy document, branding documents, brand guidelines. You can upload all of that, and that will help you do what you need to do. So I'm just going to show you how I upload. So I've got lots of things there already. So I'm going to upload this one. This is a YouTube video, which it talks about, the topic that we're covering. This is a PDF, which will count as a website or web page. So this is a PDF talking about what we're doing. And this is another article that talks about what we're doing here as well. So all of this is all, really high quality information that's factual about what we're doing. You can also paste in information. Sometimes, a client will give you a super brief and you can add that in there. So they're saying, hey, classes are on Tuesday. I cannot spell calisthenics. I've tried to spell that a bunch of times. But yeah, they'll say classes are on Tuesdays. They're taught here. They're with this person. Make me a website, make me a campaign. And you can take those elements and add them in. And you can keep this notebook and you keep updating this notebook as you go. And this essentially becomes your section of all of the information you've got here. So now I've got all of that in here. I can now use it to help me prompt and work alongside my Wix Studio framework. So within the blogging tools, for instance, I can go to use, and this will open up the Wix SEO AI assistant, which Shafir has worked really hard on to make it happen. So it gets me here, and this tells me create a blog post, and then it will ask me what kind of blog post do you want to create? What is the topic of the blog post? Can you provide more details? Well, with my Notebook LM, I can essentially take what they've asked me, and I can shape what I want. So I can take the criteria that they've asked me for, and I can pop it into here. So they've asked me to provide details, and I've had that provide more details in the context of the blog, write a prompt for a blog. So I'll put this in, and this will generate a prompt. And then when it's ready, I can pop that in. I don't know how long this is going to take. If it does, then I will reprompt with what I have from before. Are you going to do it? There we go. Okay, so this is the prompt. And I can prompt this, and this has lots of information. It has the where, the when, class structure. It's super long as well, but that's really great. That means it's super detailed. And actually, I can put all of that in here, which is great. So in the meantime, this is going to generate all of that. For the sake of time, I generated one before. And essentially what it did was, with the same prompt, it made this. So this says, Interstellar, train like an astronaut with Corey Twine, who is an actual person, but is not actually affiliated with this project. So don't ask Corey about this course. So basically, it pulls out an article, and it's got some great things in here. So if we go back to our wrap framework, we need to check if it's accurate. That's the first thing we need to do. And so there's a couple of things. First of all, that's not Corey. That's not our gym. So if that's not Corey and that's not our gym, I might want to delete that image. And this part is correct. This is the gym. This is the time of day. So that's good. And then I'll go through this with more of a fine tooth comb, making sure. So we'll check if it's accurate. We'll check if it looks artificial. Again, these aren't pictures of our gym or our course, so we might want to take those out. And they've also added in a couple of testimonials here, which aren't correct. But that's a great place to put testimonials. So I can go in and I can get some actual testimonials. And again, AI transcribers are great for this. You can use Otter, you can use Google Meet, you can use Google, you can use other tools, like you can even use your phone, you can use Zoom. They will help you transcribe conversations with folks, and then you can use those to add in that human element as well. So once we've got a blog that we're happy with, you can go over to your SEO tools. And I've added in my focus keyword, and then I'm able to add in AI text. So I can use this one where I click create AI text, and I can go this one, discover interstellar. I like that, but I can also, if I wanted to refine it, I can use my tone of voice. I can be more transactional. I can be more formal, and then it would create something more and that's super unveiled. So for instance, let's go with that one, and then I can click my create text here as well, and this will do this one. Let's say I wanted to make this one more formal, then I can click create as well. And this one's on Earth, which I like that because we're talking about Earth. And so there I'm able to add that in. So that allows you to do some of your SEO elements. The Wix SEO assistant will give you some insights on some other things that you need to do as well. So for instance, I might want to update my my H2, my H3. If I need help with that, I can still use this to sort of help me do that. So I can tweak the prompt, I can expand, I can shorten, I can create content with the tone from here, create heading. I can use those elements, but this is a great place to start. From one thing you will need to do manually as you go through here is to add internal links, which I cannot recommend enough as an SEO professional. So get into that and do that. Next step on our campaign is we are going to publish it. And then after we publish it, we need to tell everyone about it. So when you go to your emails, when you go to your email marketing, you have the ability to create an email, and you can click generate email, and you can say you want to promote a service. Click next, and I can say interstellar. Fitness class. Can click next, and then this one has 700 words. Now, one of the things that's tricky about AI is that AI can't really count. If you tell it to do 700 words, it will almost certainly give you 1,000 words. So I've asked for my prompt, I'm going to ask it to do 300 words, and then it'll probably come in closer to 400 words. So create a prompt, a 300 character prompt that talks about this. So I've got this prompt, and this has got, again, this has all of the details for the class. And so I don't have to teach this new AI about this. And I will pop this into my email prompt. Okay, and then I can double check this and make sure I'm happy with it. And let me see this one, class detail. Okay, so in this one, I'm going to change this a little bit. Just a second. And I'm going to emphasize this one. Okay, when just a second. Tuesday. Okay, so then I'm going to make this promotional. I'm going to click generate email. And it will generate the email. And when the email is ready, I can adjust it again, like I did with the other one, for different elements. So here I can make it promotional. It's pulling through lots of elements here. It says every Tuesday, come through. I can make it longer. I can make it more confident. I can add that in, and it will adjust it and it will change it. And this can save you loads of time when you're trying to get that element ready to go. And then we have lots of stuff there. Why choose Interstellar Fitness? All of that sort of stuff. And then you can do all of the things that you normally do with an email, where you move things around and make sure you've got your CTAs and all of that. So after you have your email, you maybe have something like this. Maybe you have merch that goes with the product that you're making. You might want to have maybe somebody's got a new product and you don't have a product description. You can use AI to generate the text for that, and you can and essentially for that you can add in your copy here. And your prompt here, let me see. So I'm going to add in my prompt. And I'm going to click create text. And I haven't been going through all of the steps of, fine tuning it and reviewing everything as we're going through, because at the moment I'm just demonstrating how the tools generate it. But it's very important that you go through that to make sure that anything that you're saying is accurate, and is actually showing people what it's actually doing. So this is still generating. Let me see if it's going to do that. This one was generated before with the AI text. So I'm kind of regenerating this. And this was the text that it generated with. It says it's optimizing content. So that's one there. And essentially this is going to be using the prompt that you gave it to create the text. I'm going to move on while it's doing that. Hopefully it'll update later on and I can come back to it. So the next one I want to show you, the last one, is our Google Ads.
Crystal, just sorry, real quick before you move on, there was a question in the comments, which I've answered, but just in case people are watching the recording and won't have access, there was a question of whether you could automatically move things from Google, from Notebook LM to Wix Studio, and the answer is that you have to do it manually, right?
Yeah, so most things from Notebook LM, it's not particularly liquid. One of the reasons why I like it a lot is because this is the information that it's trained on. And anytime it's making anything up, it says the headline's not directly supported by the sources and that sort of thing. And it's really, really useful if you have a client who has like a really tight niche that's like really bespoke. You can put all of the information about that niche, about that product, about that service in the same space. And then anytime you need to ask it a question. So if I were to say, who is the instructor? Then it will just spew out the information. The instructor is this person, blah, 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 and it will tell you all of the information. You can also share it with a client. So you can share this with people in your team. So let's say you're handing over an account on this really bespoke type of business and the person needs to get up to speed. You can hand over this file to them and they can listen to they can generate a podcast about everything that's in the file. So it can be really, really useful. I think this might be broken, this one. So I think I just need to and I don't think it's the product. I think it's my connection. So I might refresh it and come back to it. So I'm going to start this one. Okay. So from the ads, essentially when you have your campaign, you can set up a campaign and you can say, this is Train Like an Astronaut. We're in New Jersey. It's a fitness class. And then you can get to create ad content. And here you can click create AI copy and you can add in your AI copy for the advert. So this one is this. So I'm going to add in what we're talking about. Into the prompt. And again, the more detailed the prompt, the better your outputs will be. And I can add this one. So like get fit with copy Train Like an Astronaut. I can do that. Boost your fitness. I can copy that and I can paste that in there. And you can see it changes there as well. And then I can go to, and then I can get to this one, regenerate. And then I can fine tune my suggestions more. Erect. And this can help me to manage what I'm doing here. So I can use that to copy there. I can use that to update my elements there. And that will help me to get what I'm doing along further on. And then when you get into Google Ads, there's even more AI tools as well, which goes to show that again that you can use AI for every section of your marketing journey, which is super valuable. And the more tuned you are with that, the better you'll be able to do. Here we go. Okay, so this one. So we have this one. So I can click this one. I can click use text, and then it will update the product description for the product. And once that's ready, I can edit the SEO. Oh, let me save and continue. So I can edit my SEO, I can update my baseball cap, I can element all of those elements. And again, I can use the create AI text, create AI title tags, create AI meta descriptions to help me with that and to help me with all of the elements there. So that if you're able to include every section across your website, then you'll be able to get some great marketing outputs for your clients. And be able to take it all the way through the entire workflow. Thanks.
Thank you. Sorry, I was looking to see if I could get somebody an answer, and I was
no, that's fine.
my mic for a second.
Someone asked how proficient and precise is the utilization of Notebook LM to engineer these prompts. So if I can answer that, what I would say is that so in terms of creating a prompt, it's about the same as creating a prompt as anything. But what Notebook LM has the ability to do is it has the ability to draw on facts that you give it. So you're able to train that model to be specific, to be an expert on whatever topic you need it to be an expert on. So if you need it to be an expert on this interstellar fitness class, you can give it all of the information that you have available to you about that particular fitness class or product or team or brand or whatever. And so then when you do the prompts, they will add those elements into the prompts. And that means that that means that you don't have to spend as much time training a new model that doesn't know all of those facts about that. So it means that their prompt will include the important facts that you need to help Gamma or Wix Studio or this new model to give you something that's high quality. Can't hear you, Josh. Sorry.
I was saying thank you for your answer.
Yes.
We are 2 minutes to go, so we're going to wrap it up here. I want to thank Sapir and Crystal, and thank you to everybody who was attending. I'm posting now in the comments, and I'll put it up here on the screen. This is the link. If you want to come, we're going to be there answering some AI questions as best we can. We will try to do that. So in this, when you go to this, there's a general discussion tab. We'd like you to go to general. And then since there's other discussions that are happening in there, maybe just sort of tag it with webinar, or you can tag me so we can make sure we see it and address it properly. You'll be there for about an hour, starting in 2 minutes. And if you want to watch this webinar again, if you thought it was super compelling and, or you want to send it to your colleagues, it'll be available in the Wix Studio Academy. There were a couple of questions, that we didn't answer in the comments. So I will try to get some answers on those and get them back to you outside of the Discord channel.
Yeah, there was one that says, can we repurpose the text from text content from the SEO blog section and bring it over to the website? The blog I showed you was in it was in the Wix Studio blog. So it's in the Wix Studio blog. You can press publish and it will be on your blog. It's great. It's a great and super handy tool to help you get content created on your website.
Thank you so much. And I just want to add, we always love to hear feedback. So if you're using any of the products in Wix Studio in a certain way, or if you use other products in AI in certain use cases with your clients, we'd love to hear your feedback. And yeah.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
you.
Have a great rest of your day.
Thank you.